Hello everyone, welcome to our first webinar of 2017. I'm sure most of you have already planned your ambitious goals for the new year and you're eager to learn how to keep your resolutions. But if you haven't, and if you're still wondering how to kickstart the new year, you're absolutely in the right place. Today, Michael will be sharing his tips and tricks on how to set ambitious goals and, most importantly, how to keep them. My name is Natalia, and I will be the panelist for today's webinar. Just like our previous webinars, this one will take about an hour and a half, and it will be divided into two parts. The first will be Michael's presentation, which will take about an hour, and the second part will be a standard Q&A session where Michael and I will be chatting and answering the questions sent over from you during the webinar. You can submit your questions in the Q&A box that you can see at the top of your screens. Next to the Q&A box, there's also the chat box where you can chat or ask questions to other attendees, as well as the panelists of the webinar, and that's myself, Marcin, and Kuba, whom you cannot see, but they are here with us. Okay, so firstly, let's hear from you guys and let's check if everything is working properly. So if you could just head over to the chat window for me that you can see at the top of your screens and tell me where you're joining us from today. So let's wait a second for everyone to join in. And oh my God, we've got so many places. London, Atlanta, Virginia, Toronto, Florida. Oh, Alabama. I can't even read it. It's going too fast. There's so many of you. Nashville, Minnesota, Bogota, Arizona, Massachusetts, Texas, Minnesota. Oh my God. I think we're going for a frequency record this time. It's really amazing. I can't even keep up with reading all of your all of the cities you're from. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so let me just welcome you again. We really appreciate the time that you're spending with us on this webinar today, and I'm sure you will find it really inspiring and that it will help you set your goals for 2017, and it'll help you be more productive and even more efficient and effective. Okay, so we're going to see Michael in just a second. So let me just remind you that you can enter your questions during the webinar in the Q&A box at the top of your screen. Please remember to use the Q&A box instead of the chat box to enter your questions so that we can filter them afterwards and so that I can ask Michael your question. And the chat box, of course, may be used to chat with us during the webinar. All right, guys, without further ado, let's officially begin Michael's webinar and let's meet our instructor for today. Hi, Michael.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I can't wait to see all your tips and tricks and to get some ideas to keep my resolutions and to set better goals for this 2017. And how are you?
Yeah, I was laughing internally, like that you couldn't keep up with, with where people are from. So it's really amazing. So thanks everyone who's joining us today, and it's amazing. We're so humbled that you all came here. We had like the record signups for this webinar. I think we're striking a nerve here, and I hope that this webinar will give you the maximum tips and tricks. I hope I'll help you, Natalia, as well with your resolutions and with your goals. And yeah, I'm excited to share this because this what we're going to present today. It's a fruit of my of many times, of many failures, of many the trials and errors that I've done over the years. And this is, I mean, the process I'm going to go through today is exactly the process I'm going through with my resolutions, with my goals for this year.
Okay, that's amazing. So I think we're all excited, and I'm just going to switch off my camera now, and it's over to you as we all want to hear what you've prepared for us today. So see you in a bit at the Q&A session, and good luck.
Okay, thank you. So welcome everyone. We are so humbled that you're all here. this is really important time for us. I mean, this is the beginning of the new year, 2017, and it's important to start right. So thanks for being here, and let's dive right into the webinar. So as you know, this is my team, Martin, Natalia, and Jacob, and we are all here for you, and we are all from Nozbe. So as you know, this is an app that we've been developing for the last 10 years almost. We are going to celebrate our 10th anniversary on the 1st of February of this year. So 10 years, a decade of productivity. So we have this amazing app that we have developed for the iPhone, iPad, Android devices, Mac, Windows, of course the web, which is how it all started, and also for the Apple Watch, even, you know. So so this is what we do, and because we do that, and we've been doing it for the last decade, we know a little bit about productivity. We've been listening to your feedback. We've been learning from our users, and we have 400,000 users now. So we've been listening, we've been reading things, we've been learning, studying, and every year we've been trying to be better, and every year we've been growing. And I think it's also thanks to the fact that we've been setting good goals for each year. So every year was a year of growth, and hopefully 2017 will be even better. So remember that if you have any questions, go to Q&A segment to ask me questions, and my team is there. Martin and Jacob and Natalia are there, and Natalia will choose the best questions for the Q&A segment, and we'll try to be as thorough as possible to answer as many as we can to help you as much as we can. All right, so let's dive right into the New Year's resolutions and how to get them done. I'm going to switch off my camera now so that you're just focused on the presentation. But so let's go and start. Let's start with last year. So the idea is to review 2016 and close it, and really seal it, really close it. The idea is that it should be a closed chapter in our book. 2017 is a new year, so it's really important that like the first process, and it takes a few hours, and I'm actually through this process right now myself, is that you should go through your calendar, last year's calendar, through your journal if you're having one. If you know, I encourage you to start one, and also through your goals, last year's goals, and also projects. So go through all of these things and make sure that you close them. And if you cannot close them, and if they are still open and haven't been completed, then write them down. I encourage you to write them down on a piece of paper, actually, because it's psychologically better to write them down first on a piece of paper and have them as these additional goals that are there waiting for you. But try to decide the new year, 2017, totally with a new mindset. So with the mindset of a person like who's got like this blank slate. So you can move some of the goals from 2016 to 2017 if you want to, should you choose to, but it should be a choice and not a default option. So like really make sure that 2017 is a blank slate. So close 2016, close your calendar, journal, goals, projects, and make sure that 2017 is a blank slate, and design it from the ground up, based on what you know, based on things that you've accomplished, but ground up nonetheless. So how to do that? I would start with a different exercise. Develop your 2 to 5 year vision. I mean, I'm saying 2 to 5 years because it depends like how many years in the future can you look forward to. But it's really important to have like this vision of yourself, where you want to be in 2 or 5 years. And it's really hard to say, because if you think about it, you know, we've been developing Nozbe for 10 years, so it's not that much. I mean, it is, you know, in internet years, it's a lot, but it's just 10 years. But on the other hand, you know, in 5 years, I know, I know the age of my, you know, daughters. It's going to be. I know where I'm going to be more or less, you know, privately, like with my family, and then or where I want to be, and then, you know, financially or you know, business wise, I can, you know, think about it. You know, it's an exercise. It's not that you have to be there in 5 years or in 2 years, but it's important to have this exercise because this gives you like a bigger picture. This way you can see where you're headed to. Because there is this saying that if you don't know where you're going, any road will lead you there. So it's better to know where you're going, right? That's why, please do this exercise. Like it will take you a few hours, but really develop this vision. I don't know, this one doesn't take so much time. I mean, it will take like 30 minutes or something like that to develop a vision of yourself in 2 years or maybe in 5 years if you're brave enough. But develop this vision to make sure that you know like an end goal, where you want to be like in a few years, how you want to be, what you want to achieve more or less. Again, it's a vision. It's not a goal. It's not like a target. It's a vision. And this will change, and it will change. I mean, like 5 years ago, I didn't know where I would be in this position. Right now, where I'm here, I'm actually very surprised. I'm very happy what I've achieved. But it was like through this visualizing myself, I could get here. So we have to be open to new opportunities, to new possibilities. But to have this vision, it will be like a guiding star. It's a way for us to guide us. Especially that we should that if we want to design 2017 the way we want to design it, so with our goals in mind, these goals should also stretch a little bit beyond just this year. But we'll get to that. So, next important situation: forget New Year's resolutions. Really, forget them, because the New Year's resolutions are like wishful thinking. It's like, I want to be, slimmer. I want to be, I want people to know me. I want to be, known. I want to be a celebrity or whatever. Like, these are just, dreams. And dreaming is great. Like, but you can dream, in the vision part. But if you're like really want to do something, accomplish something this year, like forget New Year's resolutions. It's time to set some goals. But as I will explain in this webinar, it's not only about goals, it's also about something else. And there's some more nuance to that. And we'll get to that right now. So I would encourage you to get some SMART goals or even smarter goals. And Michael Hyatt, in his course, 5 years to your best year ever, I think it's still open. Anyway, his course, 5 years to your best year ever, he explains the concept of smarter goals. And I really like it. Like SMART goals, it's a very old concept, but he adds the ER at the end, and I'll explain why. So first of all, SMART goal is a goal that's specific. So you actually know what you want to do. It's really specific. It's down to the point. Right? You want to get there. And then measurable. So you want to measure how you're going to get there. You want to measure what's at stake here. And then it should be actionable. So there should be you should see at least a few steps ahead and know step by step, at least in the very beginning, which steps you should take first to get there. So this way you have this movement thing going on. You want to start, you want to move to achieve your goal, and then it should be risky but realistic. So the idea is that you set a goal that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, but in the same time, it's realistic. You can get there, because for me right now at my for me right now to become, for example, the best basketball player would not be very realistic. It would be risky, but it wouldn't be realistic. So the idea is to get a little bit out of your comfort zone, because if you stay in your comfort zone, you just slide, and it's not really exciting. But we'll get to that. So again, time bound. There should be a time component. You should know when things should happen to really meet the goal. And then the ER part. So it should be exciting. And I think I really share Michael Hyatt's enthusiasm here. Exciting means you really want to do it. You really want. I mean, why would you design a goal that you don't want to achieve? You should be really excited. You should be waking up in the morning and saying, yeah, I want to get that. I want to do that. I want to be that. So exciting and relevant. And relevant is also very, very important, because the goal should be relevant to you, to your life, to the stage of your life. Like in my case, I will explain later a little bit how this affects me, because I am not only the CEO of the company, of Nozbe company, I'm also a father of 3 and a husband, and these 3 girls are young. So there are things that I cannot do, that I cannot dedicate time to, because otherwise I would sacrifice family time. So, but people who are like older than me and have their kids already out, doing their thing, they can have more time for something. Or people who are still, without families, they can do more things or different things. Like, they can go around the world and travel for the whole year. And for me, well, my kids have to go to school. So it should be relevant to you. So it's really important. But to give you the idea, what's really important here with these goals, I want to give you an example. An example of a goal that I set myself in 2014, so 3 years ago. Well, 3 years ago, I lost 10% of my weight. I've always been a bit overweight, and it was fine. It wasn't really bad. I wasn't really fat, but I was overweight, and I wanted to be slimmer. And I tried to get it done in different ways, but I never really got to it. It was like my New Year's resolution, recurring resolution every year. I'm going to be slimmer this year, but as a resolution, it never worked. So in 2014, I changed my mindset. What I did was I set up a plan. A goal. A goal was that by my birthday, which was on May 20th, so my birthday in May, I want to lose 10% of my weight. This was my goal. So it was very specific. It was measurable. 10% of my weight. I knew how much I weighed in the very beginning of the year. So it was very specific, measurable. It was exactly a smart goal. And I was excited about the goal because I wanted to, be slimmer. I wanted to be more fit. It was I've been already running for the last 1.5 years. So I wanted to keep running, but I knew that if I'm heavier, it doesn't really help my running. So that's the goal. But now I want to show you something different, and something which is really, really important, and many people forget about it. So to achieve the goal, it's not only about the steps to take. It's also, and what I would say, it's really about skills you acquire to get it, to achieve the goal. So it's about skills. So I had to acquire new skill set. I had to acquire new skills to get it done. Which skills? So first of all, I had to learn about diets. I had to learn about how we get fat. And I actually read a book by the same title, How We Get Fat. And I really recommend the book. It's really fantastic. So I read the book. I read For Our Body by Tim Ferriss. And I found his slow carb diet. So I had to learn about that. And I knew that for the diet to actually endure, to be able to lose weight and keep that weight for a longer period of time, I have to change my dietary habits. I have to change the way I eat and things I eat. So so again, these are skills that I have to learn. To cook things, to know about the things, to know about nutrition more. That will, not only help me achieve my goal, but also in the long term benefit me and help me maintain my weight in the future. So, and the thing is that I managed to do that. I managed to, so what I did. So I set out this goal. In May, I want to, have lost my 10% of my body weight. But then I set out a thing that I want to do a slow carb diet test for 2 months. So I want to be on a slow carb diet, the one that Tim Ferriss recommends, for 2 months. And that's it. So that's it. 2 months for that. And let's see how this goes. And in the same time, I also set out to run more. And I decided, it's really hard for me to run more. I'm a busy guy running Nozbe and everything. And so what I did was I asked my running buddy, a person who I was already running with, to push me there. And I told him, let's try to run twice a week. And we only managed to do it in the last month, in April, but in the other months, it was, not always twice a week. But thanks to, his support, I was running more, and I was more fit. So if you can see that, the goal is important to lose 10% of my weight. But what was really more important was that I acquired a new set of skills. So even if I wouldn't reach my goal, I would have been a better runner because I would have, been running more. And the same thing, I would have learned more about diet and about eating. And it's really important to actually know what you're eating and what's good for you and what's not. It's, it's one of the most important skills that you should know, that you should have, and that we honestly don't have that much. I mean, I can say from my experience. So what happened? What happened was that I managed to lose my weight 10% in the first 2 months of the diet. So in the mid-March, I was already at my target weight. And then until May, what happened was I lost even 2 more kilograms. So instead of a yo-yo effect, so to get the weight back, I lost even more. So I lost more and faster thanks to acquiring these new skills. So that was the first thing. Second thing, I learned new eating habits. So I learned what I should be eating now. I learned how I should be eating, what I should be eating, and in which times. For example, for me, one of my discoveries was that I should eat more often, but less, but in smaller portions. So, and it happens, that even now I eat every 3 hours. So somebody who's with me an entire day, they think that I'm just eating all the time because I'm eating every 3 hours. Every 3 hours I'm hungry, but I eat small portions every 3 hours. So it was a new thing. It was a totally new eating habit that I had to acquire to achieve the goal and also to maintain my weight. I became a better runner because I started running a lot more and a lot more. And then in April, I beat my record for 80 kilometers in 1 month, which was for me then amazing goal, amazing thing to happen. But the best part was that after doing that, there were some side effects which were even better. So in May, my friend asked me if I want to do a triathlon. And I was like, oh, I mean, in the beginning of the same year, I would have thought, triathlons are for weirdos, for like crazy people. I mean, who would just first swim and then go on a bike and then run in the same time? I mean, this is crazy stuff, right? But no, I said, let's try. And I did a sprint triathlon, which is a short one, a pretty short triathlon, just to try it. And I managed to do it. So it was my side effect. And then another side effect was that, because I learned these new skills, because I learned all these new things, now 3 years later, I'm also in the same shape. I'm even in better shape than them because I'm doing even more sports. I'm a little heavier now, I think 2 kilograms more. But I'm gonna work on that here now in January to lower a little bit the weight, because I know how these things work. I know what I should eat to just lower the weight again, or how to focus on growing my muscles and things like that. So I acquired new skills. So I'm totally confident I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay at this very fit level. And so it wasn't, again, only about this one goal. It was about acquiring habits and acquiring new skills, which is just really fundamental to being better and to improving. And too many people actually focus just on these goals, just on the goals, and without focusing on the skills. So so speaking of triathlons, I have a new goal this year, and I want to share it with you, and I want to share the process of how I'm designing the goal and how I want to make it happen. So my new goal is to do 4 Olympic distance triathlons in 2017. Last year I did 3 and pretty okay, but this year I want to do 4 and I want to beat my personal record, my personal best, which is at 2 hours 41 minutes, and I want to do 2 hours 30 minutes, which is pretty substantial. So Olympic distance triathlon is 1.5 kilometers swim, 40 kilometers bike ride, and 10 kilometers run. So in miles, it would be a 1 mile swim, more or less, and then it would be something like 30 miles bike ride and 6-7 miles run. So pretty demanding, but I know I can already do that, but I want to do 4 of them, and I want to be better. But again, this is not a resolution. So I'm not just saying I'm going to be better and I'm going to just be better by default because it will just happen. I want to design it. So let's see how I want to design this goal, and I hope this will be helpful for you. So of course I'm using Nozbe. This is my tool of choice. I have designed it after all. I founded it. So I want to keep my goals here. So what I do, I create a special goal project. I changed the color to this yellowish orange color. I really like it for my goals. So all my goal projects have this color. And also, I add a special label for them, 2017, and then for the goals for 2017. So I create this project, and I put goal 1, 4 triathlon races. And I say that I want us to start in 4 Olympic distance triathlon races in 2017 and achieve a personal best below 2:40, 2 hours 40 minutes. So 2 hours 30 minutes would be the best. So I have to focus on improving swimming and running to get this done, because I know that I'm a pretty good bike rider, but I'm not really good swimmer. I'm one of the last out of the water, and this is the first part of the triathlon. And I'm also an average runner, and I want to just, and when you're finishing the triathlon with a run, you should be really good there, and we should really strong. So I need to acquire new skills. How to become a better swimmer and how to become a better runner. Again, these are new skills, new things I have to learn. But the best part is that if I acquire these skills, so even if I don't beat my records, I'm going to be a better runner. I'm going to be a better swimmer. And the best part is that if I am a better runner, a better swimmer, the results will come. It's the first thing. And second thing, I'm going to be stronger anyway. So I'm going to be more fit. So again, it's all about the skills. And for these skills to happen, I have to design them and I have to put them into practice. So in my project, for this goal, I put swimming session on Monday and on Friday. So I will have weekly 2 swimming sessions, just 2, not more. Again, this goal has to be relevant to my life, and I cannot swim more than twice a week. I don't have time for that. So I decided to start on Monday to have a great start of the week. And on Friday to finish the week off also with a nice swim. As you can see, tomorrow is my first swimming session after this webinar. So, and again, I use Nozbe because I just put them as tasks: swimming session Monday, swimming sessions Friday. I put the dates, I put the repeat every week, and that's that. So this task will come back to me every week at a certain day. Go to my priority list. I will not forget about it. I will have it done. And to make sure that I really go there and do my swimming session, and really swim. What I've also it's really hard. Like, it's really, the idea is not to force yourself. It's really for things to happen, to fall into place. So in my case, I chose the swimming pool, which is exactly on my way back from school. So I go to school to drive my girls to school, and coming back from school in the very morning, I pass the swimming arena. So I go to swimming gym, I go swimming, and after swimming, I go back to my home office and start working. So both of these days, it just happens because it's just on my way. So I just have to pack my things, and I'm always there. So I've done it already in December and in November, and it worked very well. So I hope to do it now. And again, it's long-term thinking. I have 2 swimming sessions. I record part of these sessions, and I send recording to my trainer. I consult with my trainers. So what I do is I make sure that each session is better. And I have time because my first triathlon race is in May. So I have a few more months right now to practice swimming and to make sure that I am a better swimmer, by May. It requires patience, it requires a lot of training, but hopefully I'll get there. So this is swimming. As you can see, really easy, designed and right there in Nozbe in the same project. And now, running. So I am a pretty average runner. I can run a 10K around 50 minutes, which is a good time. But it's been like that for the last 2 years, I think. So nothing really new there. I already could do that. And my best time is 48 minutes, actually. But I want to be faster. I want to make sure that I can really run below 45 minutes. So I can really, learn this. So this way, but just going out and running, I won't be able to learn it. I mean, there is some certain science to that, and I'm actually using that science to my advantage. So what I do here is there is a special task called 10K below 45 minutes, 12-week training plan, and I have this as a task here because I'm going to complete this task right now because I'm using a cheat sheet. What I'm using is a Nozbe.how template, developed by our own Marcin, who is from our Nozbe team. He's a very well-trained athlete, and he has his own blog on triathlons, and he published Nozbe.how templates for training. And there is a perfect training plan. You see, I mean, it's 10 kilometers below 45 minutes. And it's there. All the tasks are there. All the training is there. It's in every task there is a comment with all the information, what should be done and how it should be done. So it's really lots of information there. And all I have to do is just follow that. So I just click on this Add to Nozbe button, and I add it to my Nozbe account, create a project for that, goals, training plan, 10 kilometers, and I add it here. And all I have to do is follow through, is just do my training. And but learning from my previous successes and failures, I decided to leverage that and to actually raise stakes. So I'm using another feature in Nozbe. I can share this project. So I'm sharing this project with Nurek. Nurek is the nickname of Marcin. So I'm sharing this project with him because I want to make sure that he sees my progress, and then he gives me feedback and encouragement, and also that he starts laughing at me if I don't do this or if I start slacking off. So this way, I'm using the sharing function in Nozbe to make sure that somebody can participate in my goal, can help me, can become my accountability partner. And I think it's really important to have accountability partners. I mean, people are saying that you shouldn't share your goals because when you share a goal, it's like you've almost done it, and so you won't be motivated to do it. But if you share a goal with somebody who can motivate you to get it done and who will be watching you over your shoulder, it's going to be pretty embarrassing if you don't do it. So this way, Marcin here, he agreed to become my accountability partner for this goal. For this goal to do the training plan for the next 12 weeks, I'm going to be just following this training blindly. I'm going to just do every day what's here supposed to be done. There are 4 runs every week, and I'm going to just do them exactly as it says here. So, and this way, hopefully, I'll be able to run 10K below 45 minutes. So as you can see, there are a few components here, a few parts of my goal, and they're all in this one project. So first, I have the triathlon dates. So my first triathlon is going to be in May, my second in June, my third in September, and my fourth in October. So these are 4 triathlons I'm going to participate in. This is my main goal. So they are the time-bound goal for this year. And then I have my skills I need to acquire to make this happen, and to make this happen in style and with good results. So first, swimming sessions, and I have them here as tasks in Nozbe, recurring tasks that will be popping up and reminding me and sending me push notifications every day. I mean every Monday and Friday in this case, to make sure that I go to swim and I practice my swimming session. And then another part, the green part, is the run training. So I want to train to be faster, to run below 45 minutes, which is really fast, and to be able to do it in 12 weeks, to learn it in 12 weeks, to make this like a deliberate practice, a practice that really helps me get this done. And for that, I have not only a task here, but also I have a special additional project, which is just responsible for this training. So with Nozbe, I can have this flexibility of having 2 projects here. One is the main project, and then the other one is the additional project required to get it all done. And then in the red here at the very bottom of the screen, there is a bonus here. I decided that to make it even more exciting, that if I manage to achieve all that and to do these 4 triathlons, I want to do a half marathon in November. I mean, I have this half marathon that my friend is organizing, and he's always been inviting me, and I always said, yeah, maybe next year. So maybe this year, if I improve my running and if I do my triathlons, I want to, just finish off the season in November with a half marathon. So let's see if this goes. And it's a bonus. It's something that's, it's not on my, it's not entirely in this goal, but it's something, additional that I look forward to. So as you can see, this is my goal, and it's all about not only about the goal as such. So something that is really, smarter. So it's, tangible. There's time component and everything else, but also skills. And I think, it's really important. I mean, I think it's paramount. The skills that you acquire to reach the goal. Because what happens is that even if I don't do all the 4 triathlons, thanks to the swimming sessions, regular swimming sessions, thanks to my 10K running program, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be faster, and I'm going to be faster swimmer, faster runner. So even if I don't reach the goal, if I don't manage for some reason, scheduling conflicts, whatever, if I don't do it, the skills I get will help me not only this year, but next year and the following years. And of course, the learning experience is going to be tremendous. So as you can see, the skills are so important because they lead us to get the goal done, but also to have these skills for the future, for the years to come. And as you can see, it's all been done here in Nozbe. So I'm just, using my, scratching my own itch, using my own tool, because anyway, I'm using Nozbe anyway. And there are programs for goal settings, and there are lots of apps on the App Store and everything. So you can start searching there. But I think, for me, using Nozbe, using a tool I use anyway to plan my tasks and plan my things, it just makes more sense to have these additional projects, which are goals, essentially, and put them all here, and then get them all done here, and then have also and use these features like I said here. Like for example, I can share a project with my colleague and make sure that I have an accountability partner. And speaking of Nozbe, if you want to use Nozbe for this year, for 2017, and you're on the verge of upgrading, or your Nozbe account is going to expire, so you can use a special offer that is going to be available just this hour. So after the webinar, we're going to just close this down. So just go to nozbe.com/now, and you can get 3 extra months if you get Nozbe for a year. So if you get Nozbe for a year, normally you pay for 10 months and you get 12, and this way you get 15 months when you pay for 10. So it's just a really great offer, and in this way you're set for not only for a year, but for a year and more. So for next year, you as well, almost. So really, nozbe.com/now, you can get the extra months, and the offer is gonna expire in just an hour. So only after this webinar, the offer will be gone. So make sure to check it out. Make sure to try it, and get it, and start designing your goals here in Nozbe, where you're already doing all the other stuff. And additionally, if you're on a pro account, but you have more than 4 people or 4 people and more on your team, and you want to try Nozbe Business, which is just better for businesses. It has more reports. It has additional settings for projects. And additionally, Nozbe for Business has onboarding experience. We have just dedicated account manager for your account to help you put these goals. As you can see, you can share projects easily in Nozbe. So you can really put your company goals, your team goals in Nozbe in a shared project and shared with other people. So really to have more accountability partners and to get these goals done together. So and if you go with Nozbe Business, we will help you get it done. We will help you design your Nozbe experience for your team and for your company. And additionally, you will also have an option to talk to me directly, to have a consulting session with me for 30 minutes. So Nozbe Business is really great. And if you want to try it for 3 months, we can upgrade your account to just see how it goes and help you, along the way to introduce this Nozbe concept in your team or in your company. Let us know. Also go to nozbe.com/now, and below scroll a little bit down, and you just put your email address, and we'll get in touch with you. So back to goals and back to goal settings. Again, this is my goal, and as you can see, when we look at it, it's really smart or smarter. It's specific, it's measurable, and it's actionable. There's really action steps here that I have to take already. Tomorrow is my swimming session, so really action steps there. It's a little bit risky. I mean, it's not that much risky. I mean, I've already done 3 triathlons last year, so it's 4 triathlons, but I want to beat my time, and the 2 hour 30 minutes, it's really a good time for a triathlon. So it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and that's why I have to really learn how to swim, which takes time, and it's really daunting at times, but I really want to do it. And also I want to run faster. So it's time keyed, so there is that time component. And of course, it's exciting. I want to be able to do this, and I want to be able to do this so much that I want to do. Actually, I have this bonus even task at the end about the half marathon. So it's really exciting and it's relevant because this is all I can do this year. I know that I cannot spend more time. I cannot do an Ironman this year. I cannot, do some really outrageous things because I don't have time to train. As you can see, I can only train like swimming twice a week, and then running 4 times a week. It's already lots of training. And then if I add a bike in the mix, it's lots of training anyway. So I'm really trying to be reasonable here. So, and relevant to my life and to my family and to my business here, because I have also exciting goals for Nozbe for 2017. Very exciting. And speaking about Nozbe, so for example, every year we have this goal to increase Nozbe sales, and it's great again, but again, it's not only about increasing Nozbe sales. It's also about learning new skills as a team that will help us not only increase sales this year, but help us in the long term. So for example, product, we are improving product all the time. So if you're a Nozbe user and you've been a long time Nozbe user, you've seen the progress. It's just amazing. Like last year we launched Nozbe 3.0, it's already Nozbe 3.4, and we're about to launch Nozbe 3.5. There are so many, we are improving product all the time. And thanks to that, we get new sales. But thanks to that also, you get a better product. So we learn new skills. We learn new skills, how to ship our product faster, how to make it better, bug-free, better tested. We learn all these things. So we acquire new skills, not only to get our goal to increase sales, but also to help and serve you better. Also, webinars. Webinars is a new thing, and it seems to be working because you're here. And also, we've been learning how to do webinars. It's our, I don't know, 6th or 7th webinar now. So we started last year, and already with great results. And people love them. I hope you love this one as well. So and for us, I love giving them, and I love doing this. So again, a new skill set, how to do webinars well, how to really provide value to you, how to really help you. It's crucial for us, not only to increase Nozbe sales, but also to increase, our contact, to be really in touch with our users, with you guys. And like email marketing, for example, this is a thing that we've been always learning, but now for this year, we have a specific goal there because there are new things in email marketing. And the idea is to really make sure that it's really fit for everyone, that we don't send too many emails because we've been sending a little bit too many emails last year. So to make sure that we really calibrate this well, to really use this tool well to serve not only our needs to increase sales, but also your needs, so that you get an email with all the information that you need that helps you get more things done. And this is the idea that we want to learn this, and we want to learn this well. And there are so many things to be learned there. And also, for example, Google, Facebook ads. Again, skills that, when you fine tune this, you learn how to do them, and they will, contribute to our goal to increase Nozbe sales. But also, they will help us in the long term just to be better at selling Nozbe, to be better at convincing people that they need this tool to really get things done. And 400,000 people who are using Nozbe already, they know this, but there are so many millions of people who don't know this and who don't know how to get things done, how to get organized. So we really want to help there. And by acquiring these skills, we help do that. We help to move our mission. And so other skills, like there are so many things. So again, goal is very important, but the skill set that gets you there is even more important, in my opinion. So, how to make 2017 great? In a nutshell, forget New Year's resolutions. Forget them. I mean, just don't. Just plan goals, and plan smarter goals, like Michael had, my personal guru would say. So plan smarter goals, plan really good goals, but also focus on the skills. So plan goals, but focus on the skills that will get you there, that you acquire to get to your goals. Cheat, like I did cheat with the training. I went to Nozbe.how, where I have a ready template. I have a ready finished template that I could just, with one click, import to my Nozbe account and start using it and start doing my training. I didn't have to read many books. I just knew that, Marcin prepared a very thorough template based on lots of data, lots of information, and lots of really good information by people who are smarter than me about running and are running coaches. And I just cheat. I just, go to Nozbe.how and get what I want. So with Nozbe.how, we have also big plans for this year. to make sure that it becomes really a database of knowledge that you can just acquire quickly by just importing to your Nozbe account. So for me, one click and I have it in my Nozbe account. I have a new project and I can get it done. So really, it's a good way of cheating. It's not a bad way of cheating. It's a good way of cheating. So cheat in a good way. Find partner. So find accountability partner. Find somebody who really will help you achieve your goals and will, motivate you to do what you have to do. And then review your goals weekly. And I haven't touched on that a lot in this webinar, but it's really important. If you've been, listening to me or following me on the internet, you know that weekly review is something I stand by, and it's really important. So weekly, when you review your stuff, when you do your weekly review, also review your goals. Make sure that you are still on top of your goals. You know what you want to achieve. You make sure that you are acquiring the skill set that you need to achieve your goals, that you're moving towards your goals. And, my advice, do it all in Nozbe. I'm being, biased here because this is the tool I use and the tool I love. But again, if you use the same tool that you anyway use for your own tasks and projects, it just becomes just easier, more integrated. It's just all there, and you can just use it easily. So I would encourage you to do that, to do it all in Nozbe. And if you want to do it all in Nozbe, right now is the best time to upgrade if you haven't, or if you want to extend your Nozbe account. Now you can get 3 months free and 2 months additionally. So 5 more months when you pay for 10. So 15 months if you pay for 10. It's really the best offer we can give you, and it's only good for the remaining of this webinar. After the webinar, maybe a few more minutes, but really it's going to expire very soon. We just want to give it to you as a bonus for coming over here and sticking around. And again, if you're thinking about Nozbe for Business, if you're thinking about introducing Nozbe to your team or to your business, just get it there. Go to nozbe.com/now and put your email address there, and we'll be in touch with you to help you transition to Nozbe for Business and help you really achieve your goals together as a team or as a business. And again, I want to give a big shout out to Michael Hyatt. He's a very well-known blogger and podcaster, and former CEO of Thomas Nelson's Publishers. And he's my personal, mentor, fantastic guy. And he's got this course, 5 Years to the Best Year Ever, which is really great. And he's been really helping me, find the best way to achieve my goals. And also, he's a Nozbe user for many years now. He's been for many years now, so he's a great person anyway. So, and thanks, he's managing his multi-million-dollar, small business with Nozbe. So, that's great there. And of course, we have the Nozbe productivity guarantee. So if you upgrade, we get you covered. If you don't like it, we want only the happiest users. And we want to help you get more done. So this is our team, and we are there to help you achieve your goals and make the best year, this 2017, your best year ever. All right, so let's go to questions. I'll be happy to answer anything you might have and dive deeper into goal settings, because this is the time, this is the moment. We are in 2017, in the very beginning. We can make it a really great year, learn from the experience of the last year, and have this vision for a future, and just get these goals and acquire the skill set that we need to get it all done. So hope let's talk now.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for the amazing presentation.
Hi.
And for all the inspiration. And for sharing how you do it, because this is really, I find it really useful to see how you approach the subject and how you set your goals. So thank you for that. We've had some people who said in the chat that the webinar is amazing. So wow. I just think that everyone found it really inspiring. And now let's just move on to the Q&A session. We've got some really great questions for you. So let me just start off with a question by an anonymous viewer who asks, do you have any recommendations on how many goals it is reasonable for a person to have in a given year?
Less than 12. So I would suggest less than 12. We have 12 months in this year, so less than 12 it's the ideal. So many people set too many goals, and less than 12 is like less than one goal per month. I would say, because if we have too many goals, we're just all over the place. We're not focused. And again, as I mentioned in the webinar, it's not only about the goals. So it's about acquiring the skill set necessary to reach the goals. So if you want to acquire too many skills at once, you're going to fail. Like this 12-week plan here to run, it's pretty demanding. So you really have to accommodate for that. So it's really important to have I would say 5 to 7 goals would be like the ideal, and then just take it a notch lower, but have better goals, but a little bit less, I would say. So less than 12. Ideally, 5 to 7, I would say, would be like this, ideal ballpark, I think. But anyway, your mileage may vary, but it's really, as you see, I mean, these skills to acquire, they take time. You cannot learn things quickly. So it's really important that you focus on the skills, and then when you see that, you will see that you cannot achieve so many goals at once.
Exactly. And you don't have to limit yourself to just setting your goals at the beginning of the year. I mean, if you are successful with all your goals by, I don't know, by June or something like that, then you can set some other goals, because it's not only bound for January to set your goals and just do nothing for the rest of the year. So just be reasonable and don't exceed the limit, and you should be good to go.
Yeah, and perfect. Very, very good comment, Natalia. The thing is that very often, just like as I said, with your vision, the vision changes of you, like through the years, but also the vision of the year might change. There might be new opportunities, new different things that might happen, or things might go different routes, different ways. So it's really important to review your goals, to review your stuff, and then when you review them, you'll see the new opportunities, and maybe you'll just decide to set some goals also for later this year. Not for now, but for later this year. I mean, this goal that I set here, as you see, it's going to happen in May, June, and then later in September, October. But in the meantime, I have skills to acquire, but I have also other things I want to achieve in different times.
That's right. Okay, thank you. And you mentioned in your at the end of your presentation, Michael Hyatt, and we've got a question from Mark, who says, I set up my annual goals similar to Michael Hyatt's setup he blogged about several years ago, which included integrating Evernote and Nozbe. I would love to know about any further ideas and improvements on this approach you guys would have. So what would you recommend? Because you're a big fan of Michael Hyatt's, and you probably know everything about his setup and everything. So do you have any advice?
Yeah, so Michael Hyatt actually uses Nozbe to set his goals as very similar that I showed you right now. So we have the dedicated projects for goals, and then tasks inside the projects, and some of them are really actionable now, and others are for the future. So this is the first thing. But second thing, Evernote is also very helpful, because when you're doing your thing, what Evernote helps me is it catches things. I have documents there and things like that, and thanks to the integration of Nozbe and Evernote, what you can do is you can attach as a comment an Evernote note directly to your task. This way, it's there. It's also in your system, so you don't have to go to Evernote, because you already attached this thing there inside Nozbe. So I would say use Evernote as your brain dump, or as your memory thing, and then use Nozbe for the actionable stuff, for stuff that has to really happen. So in the example that I mentioned, of my triathlon, you can see that all these things were actionable. And actionable stuff goes here. The non-actionable stuff goes to Evernote, and then it might be attached to the actionable things as a comment in Nozbe. So this way, you can marry these two things together and have them integrated. And this is how I use it, and this is how I think how Michael Hyatt uses it. So really decide what's actionable and what's not, and then depending, put it there, but still you can link both things together thanks to our integration.
Okay, thank you. And another question that is that has something to do with New Year's resolutions, sorry, and keeping them, is during the weekly review. And we have a question from Warren, who says that his greatest challenge with Nozbe is to have a weekly review. And how do you get this done in light of having such a busy week already?
Yeah, so also, Michael Hyatt, famous Michael Hyatt, says, what gets scheduled gets done. This is his famous quote. I really like it. I don't always stick to it, but very often I do. So I haven't mentioned that in this webinar, but also Michael, he recommends doing this exercise of designing your week, designing your ideal week. And this is what we've been doing together with Natalia this past few days. I've tried to design my perfect week, and I shared it with her and asked for feedback, because like what would happen in a perfect week? That, no interruptions, no nothing. You just do exactly what you should be doing in the time frames that you should be doing. So you say, I want to spend that many hours on this, that many hours on that. So you really allocate these hours, and you allocate 3 hours. I mean, I do 3 hours. People do 2 hours. I do 3 hours just in case. Allocate 3 hours for my weekly review on Friday. So and we discussed it with the team. We actually moved one meeting around, because I learned the hard way that it didn't work last time when we designed it in a different moment, that I should reschedule this meeting to make sure that I have these 3 hours for my weekly review on Fridays. So I really have it scheduled. I have it there blocked. So this is like there should be no interruptions there, and Taya knows that she shouldn't schedule any calls for me at that moment. This is my weekly review time. This is just for me, and so this is really important. The problem that we have as people is that we want to help others. We want to be good to others. So when they ask us for a meeting, we almost always say yes, and we find time for them. But then we don't find time for each other. We don't find time for our weekly review. So we don't find time for our stuff. And this is really crucial. So I would, encourage you to schedule this as an appointment. This is an appointment with you. Put it in your calendar, block this. And when somebody asks you, hey, can I come to your office or whatever? Like, I'm sorry, I have a different appointment there. I have a meeting there. So you have a meeting, and that's it. So you're not lying. It's a meeting with yourself. So it's not like you're cheating anyone. You just have this meeting. You have this different commitment to yourself that you have to just do. So I would encourage you to do that. And in Nozbe, when you do a weekly review, it can be a bit tiring. We go through each project, and each task. You have to scroll the tasks. It takes a little bit more time. But the more you do it, if you do it every week, it just gets better and it gets easier. So really, block the time and tell everyone, this is not negotiable. This is not the time I can do anything else.
Yeah, and don't just stop after the first weekly review, because it's just going to be a nightmare at first. Like, the first one is the worst one, because you are going to spend so much time not only on like thinking about your tasks and like going through each of them, but all the other like documents and all the other inboxes, like physical or not physical inboxes that you have. So you really are going to spend a lot of time on this one, but it's going to be really worth it, as you're going to see that the next week is just going to be really organized, like much more organized than the previous one, and just each weekly review will just become really easy and more enjoyable, because you'll know your goals, you'll know your aims and like your tasks for the next week, for the next month. So you'll just be more effective and more productive at work. So I think it's really worth doing a weekly review, even though the first ones may be a bit boring and just really difficult.
Yeah. I mean, when we introduced our TGIF policy, so policy that on Fridays everyone has to do a weekly review, I mean, the first Fridays were really hard. People were complaining and saying, it's daunting, it's tedious, you have to click up through all these projects and everything. But then later, it was so great because we use Nozbe to run Nozbe. So we have lots of shared projects. So suddenly all the tasks were cleaned or done, like things were so smooth now, it was a different experience by seeing that really everyone was doing the weekly review. So we really made it mandatory in our team. So we know on Fridays, everyone is doing the weekly review, and they even report on Slack once they've done it. So it's really great. But really, as you said, Natalia, the first weeks were really hard. People were complaining, but it just made so much difference. I mean, before that, I hate to admit that, we've been, not really religious about it. And when I did that one of my reviews, and I saw a task, in October, I saw a task, from March. I was like, what is this doing here? Right? And then, so really, a weekly review, like in our company, I would encourage you to, to talk to your boss, or, try in your company to really actually make it mandatory for your team, to do it, to block everyone's calendar for a weekly review. And then this is what we do in Nozbe, and it's been great.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And you may think that doing a weekly review is more of a personal thing, that you can't really do it during your working hours. But I can assure you, it really means a lot to do a weekly review during your working hours, because it just makes your work for the next week so much easier. So it's really worth just, scheduling this 1 hour or 2 hour block for yourself, and just get it over with the first time. It's going to be a nightmare, but just get it over with. And then the next ones will just make your life better and your work better. So it's definitely worth a try.
Totally.
All right. So let's move on to another question. Just browsing through. Oh, this is an interesting one. It's a general question about Nozbe, and Chelly asks, does Nozbe stand for something?
Yeah, it's a good one. So yes, it does. I mean, it's way back when I was in college. We invented the name Nozbe with a friend, with one of my best friends. We were starting a project, and we wanted to have a nice name, and it was also then a project, to get organized. So we were playing with the phrase to be organized. Be organized, be yours, and we started, like working with this, be organized, be yours, and to be naturally organized, and then so be yours, Nozbe, Ozbe, and then like Nozbe, popped up as a nice name. And it was a 5-letter name, with a cool Z in the middle, and the .com domain was free, so we just decided to get it and to use it for our project. And we shut down the project after a year. But I kept the domain, and then when I started, developing Nozbe, I thought, I'm going to keep the name because it's about to be naturally organized, or being naturally organized. So Nozbe makes sense. And because my wife is a lawyer, so she would say it's a very good name because it's a very good trademark, because it doesn't mean anything in a language. So there is nobody can say I stole something from some language or something. But Nozbe doesn't mean anything, so it's a very good trademark. So I had no problem registering it as a trademark. So that's Nozbe, to be naturally organized.
Yeah, so that's the story behind the name of Nozbe. Okay, so let's move on to some questions about using Nozbe and features of Nozbe. So Benjamin asks, what is the best way to manage single actions in Nozbe that do not belong to a project?
Actually, if you go to Nozbe blog, there is this new Ask Michael segment. And actually in this Monday's Ask Michael segment, I'm talking exactly about this. So I'm going to tell you now here. But anyway, this is the new project that we have that we've been running with Martin, and that I have this Ask Michael vlog every week on Mondays. And this time, if you go to our blog, it's there. There is the YouTube video. So basically, what I do is I create buckets. So, for example, I create a project called Firm for my company, for my company stuff. So like loose tasks related to my company. So this is I treat a project as a bucket, not as a list instead of a project, because very very often people think that project has to be something finite that has to start and finish. Like, no, sometimes a project can be just something, a list of tasks. I also have an additional project called private, and then I have my private loose tasks there. So what I do first, I put lots of things in the inbox, but then I process the inbox and put the stuff in these buckets if they're not related into to some other project. And there's more ideas there, but you will find them in the Ask Michael segment right now on our Nozbe blog. So I encourage you to get it and to see it. Also, if you go to in your Nozbe account to the news section, in the news section you will see the latest blog entries, and there's the Ask Michael about those tasks right there.
Yeah, so we highly encourage you to check out the new series, and you can also submit your questions in the comments, and then we'll browse through them and choose the best ones, and Michael will be answering your questions. Okay, another question about separating personal projects from work-related projects. So a viewer says that I want them in one list, but I get distracted by looking at the work tasks on personal time and the personal tasks on work time. So what would be your advice to separate work from home?
Yeah, we have this very flexible solution called labels for projects. So I use labels for that. I use labels for many things. So for example, I have labels for my goals. So I have a goals labels, as I mentioned in this webinar, that if I click on this label, I see only the projects that are related to my goals and nothing else. So these are the goals. And the cool thing is that a project can have one or two more labels. So the same project that, for example, is related to my goals can also be related to my company. So when I click on the label, company, I see all my company-related projects. So I would use that. I would use labels, and I think the more you use them, you have to just watch out to keep them clean and to keep them relevant. But I right now, when we share projects, for example, in the team, whenever I get an invitation to a new project, when you accept an invitation, you can already choose a label that it goes to, and I will always choose a label. So this way, I have really all my projects labeled, and this way I can really switch between different mindsets or different things. So this way you will be able to switch I'm at work, so I put label work, bomb, and then there's a label work there. So you have only work related projects there on the list, so you're not distracted by the private stuff. And the same you can do on a priority list. So when you're on a priority list and you want to get your work related stuff done, and you want to ignore your wife's question about some shopping, what you do is you put filter in the priority section, in the priority tasks. You put a filter only with label work, and then you have it filtered. So incoming tasks from private private tasks are not showing up there. They are there, but they're hidden from you, so that you're not distracted. So I would use the labels in the project list and filters in the task list of priority list. So I would choose these things, and this way you can really, it takes a little bit more time, to configure that and to set it up. But once you have it done, it's really easy to maintain. And if you do a weekly review, you have it really easy maintained, as we said before. And most importantly, you will be focused then. And really, I have, for example, this additional thing that what I do is that for each day I set up like three most important tasks, up to three most important tasks for the day, and I add and then, so even if I have like 30 tasks in my priority list, I choose these tasks and put and next to them I put them I add category to them called frog, from the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. So and we have this icon for a frog. So what happens is that I just filter my priority list for frog, so I can only see these 3 tasks, and I'm focused on these tasks. Once I have them done, I remove the filter and I take care of other tasks. So it's really important that like this filtering possibility, this filter functionality in Nozbe in priority list, it works well once you start using it, and this way you can really narrow your focus. And narrowing your focus is really important to acquiring your skills and to really getting your things done.
That's right. And so it's just really good to use all the features of like labels and categories, would just help you organize your tasks and your projects in a different way than just in projects and just in task lists. So I think that's the great thing about Nozbe, that it's really flexible, and you have so many different features that you probably don't know yet, but you should just try them out, spend an hour or two just like browsing through different features and like seeing if you like something or not, because Nozbe has just so many great things to use and to reorganize your tasks, to filter, to sort, to search. So
there is a very good question right there. So or very good suggestion right there. If you want to get your goals done this year, it's really great to have time, to dedicate time to what people call sharpening the saw. So to really learning the tools that you use. So if you use, for example, tool like Nozbe, make sure to go to nozbe.com/help and just check the help page. We have tutorials, we have really good things there, like really lots of documentation. If you go through that, it won't take you that much time, but it will just, this way you'll be able to use Nozbe better. But not only Nozbe, any tool that you use, your computer, your iPhone, your like any app that you use, if you dedicate, half an hour or an hour a week just for studying the tools that you use, you'll find so many great features, so many hidden features that you've never thought about. And this will also help you, move faster and improve your goals, this for the entire year. So really, I would encourage you to this year also dedicate this time, schedule time to sharpening the saw, to sharpening your tool set, to learning about your tools, because like tools like Nozbe, as you said, we're going to celebrate 10th anniversary on 1st February this year. So 10 years in business, we have so many features there. We try to be as simple as possible for the beginner, but then we have so many things for the advanced user. And but you have to learn them a little bit. It's not, they are pretty obvious, but they're not that obvious. And there are so many ways to use them that, it's good to reach out. But also, other tools that you use, just think about it, all the designers, they have to really learn to use Photoshop to really be good designers. They will not be able just to, do three things together and that's it. They have to really learn and study their tool sets. So, do the same thing. If you use word processor, like, Microsoft Word, learn a few more things about it, and there are some online classes or online tutorials, just like we have in Nozbe. There are some tutorials for other apps. Use these tutorials, watch a tutorial and learn something new. This will, again, you're investing in your skills. And I've been repeating this, in this webinar so many times. Your skills matter, because your skills, they compound. You build up on your skills, and this way you become a better person or a better team or a better, company, and you achieve more. Even if you like it or not, you're going to be better because you have better skill set. So it's really important to dedicate this time for the skills. This is why in Nozbe we have TGIF. We have this Friday, this special Friday that we dedicate to learning our skills and to doing our weekly review. The idea is this, that on Friday we don't do normal work. We do whatever we want. So we do a weekly review and whatever we want. And the idea is, people share on Slack channels in Nozbe what they're going to do this Friday. And on Fridays, what we do is we try to learn new things, learn new programs. Again, study what we are already using. Learn our tools. Sharpening the saw. Again, if you don't put time there, you're not going to have it. And if you don't do it, the problem is that you're going to be fine, but you're going to be using something slower. So in the grand scheme of things, you're going to lose more time. than if you would spend just half an hour or an hour studying this program and then using all these new features, and you would just do so many things so much faster.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. That you may think that, oh my God, I need to spend so much time like reading all the help page or watching tutorials. But yeah, you're gonna spend an hour or two, and then you're just gonna get so much better and so much faster in doing things. So it's really, like you said, it's investing in yourself. So it's
In your
really worth
skills.
spending, yeah, in your skills. So it's really worth just spending a while and maybe even like 15 minutes a day or a week just to get to know one feature in Nozbe or one feature in like Evernote or whatever app you're using daily. So it's really worth a try. And our help page is, I think it's really well designed because you have all those sections, so you can, and you've got a search engine, so you can search a specific like keyword and it's just gonna come up. And we also update it with every update that we introduce in Nozbe, and every feature just gets updated right away, so you can be sure that you'll find like almost everything in on our Nozbe help page.
Exactly.
Okay, so the time is almost up, and we've got time for just one more question. So let me just choose an interesting one. Okay, I've got one question about the offer that we
Yeah.
have today. So, because some people are confused and they don't could you just repeat what the offer is all about and what you have to do to get the 3 extra months?
Okay, so you just go to Nozbe.com/now, and over there's a button, to go to buy to the buy page. And what happens is that you have to, to get the offer, you have to purchase Nozbe for a year in advance instead of monthly. You pay a yearly fee, but with this yearly fee, you are already saving 2 months, so it's already a good deal. So already with getting Nozbe for a year, it's already better than buying monthly. We give you both options because some people prefer to go month to month. Other people prefer, just upfront buy for a year, but we reward them with 2 additional months. And then like with 2 months. So they pay for 10 months and then get 12, they get the whole year. But then with this offer, you don't get 12 months, you get 15 months. So we get 3 additional months. So you pay for 10 months. So like you go choose a yearly option, pay for 10 months, and you get 15. So you get
50%.
50%, to be honest. So that's the offer. So and again, it's for a whole year, so you have to spend a little bit more. But again, you're covered by our money back guarantee. So if you're not happy, we'll refund you the money. And if you're not happy, contact support. Contact asset questions at Nozbe.com, and we will help you set Nozbe up the way you want it and the way it should help you and get things done. Yeah, this is really a great offer, because if you think about it, 50% more. So who gives you 50% more? It's really a big one, and it's that's why if you go to Nozbe.com/now, we will keep the offer like half an hour more, like after the webinar ends, and then we'll close it down. So make sure to snatch the offer before it expires. We normally don't do this offer very often, so it's really good, getting it now.
Yeah, and you're always covered by our 30-day money-back guarantee. So should you not like it, you're covered. But we're definitely sure you're going to like it, and it's going to make your year more productive and just help you get a lot more done. All right, so let's wrap this webinar up. And Michael, thank you so much for all the tips and tricks that you shared, and for showing us how you set your goals for the new year and how you keep your resolutions. My head is full of ideas, and I'm sure that everyone's head is now full of ideas after your presentation. So I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you enjoy our webinars stay tuned for more, because we really enjoy doing them, and we want to do more of the webinars this year and in the next years. And Michael, do you have any closing remarks?
Yeah, I mean, so we are really trying to share as much as we can, and especially with the webinars, we love it. We love doing them. So if you have some ideas for webinars, what you want to have covered, let us know. Anyway, contact our customer support with any question. I mean, questions@nozbe.com. We have fantastic customer support team. We reply very quickly. You will learn very quickly that unless unlike other apps or other services, we actually do read your emails and we reply to them instead of sending you a canned response or something like that. So we really care about you and that in that sense, and also share as much information as we can. We additionally to our help page, to our webinars, we have this Ask Michael vlog that we just launched. So make sure to check it out, to subscribe to Nozbe blog, follow us on Twitter and on Facebook, and this way you will get the weekly answers from me and from our team. So and ask questions there as well, because we will be answering them as well in this series. I mean, this is what it's all about. So make sure to focus on your skill set, to improve your skills, because goals are important. New Year's resolutions, forget about them. Focus on your goals, improve your skills, and you will have a great year. So I wish this to you.
Yeah, and we wish you a very, very happy and productive year 2017. And we hope that you set your goals and that you're going to develop your skills and just be really productive. So thank you again, and see you on our next webinar.
See you soon.
Bye.